Actors are the worst. You see how we can justify anything?
Yeah.
Make it about ourselves.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
Wow, how many years ago was it when we got to know Artie Abrams on Glee? Of course, Kevin McHale. And do you still get people asking you, like, oh my God, a miracle happened. You're out of the wheelchair now.
Every single day.
Do you really?
Every day.
Kind of makes you look like a liar.
Or just a really good actor.
Or that.
There is that.
Actors are the worst. You see how we can justify anything?
Yeah.
Make it about ourselves.
But you could be with us, like when we fly from New York to, let's say, Miami. You could get on first in your wheelchair because people will believe it, and then it's the miracle flight, and they all get off the flight without the wheelchair in Miami.
There you go. When we started Glee, when we started doing press, I did get the extra large rooms that were made for actual chairs. And I was like, you guys, give this to somebody who needs it. This is not.
Right.
I am so sorry to be the one to tell you.
You check into a hotel room, and you can actually roll your wheelchair into the shower if you wanted to.
Yes.
And if someone rang the doorbell, a light would flash.
I had the party room.
You did. Well, Kevin, you've got so much going on. I want to get to all of it. Of course, you're co-host with Jenna on That's What You Really Missed, the Glee Recap podcast. And right here on the iHeart Network.
That's right.
One of our own.
Keeping it in the fam.
Yeah.
I like that. And you guys just wrapped up your 4th season, and the podcast is what, yesterday?
Yesterday. I don't know what day it is. But yes, we got through 4 seasons of Glee. Not everybody did. But
there's that.
But we did for a second time. And we're really enjoying it. It's been a really, really fun experience. We've been, I think, surprised by how much we've been enjoying it and getting to interview people who worked in front of the camera and behind the camera, and sort of like a group therapy session every week. It's been really nice.
And I love hearing that for you. I mean, a podcast, unlike what we're doing now, you can take time with it. You can let things open up, and here, like our interview is almost over. I hate that.
That's right. I imagine though, if I was Cord Overstreet, the interview would probably be 30 minutes longer.
Okay. Oh, he knows the show well.
You know, Cord is family. Cord comes to visit us all the time. You don't come to visit us all the time.
I'm here right now. I feel like Cord has a residency. I don't know. Like, how do I get to be every time I see Cord, it's like, oh yeah, I was just with Elvis. Really? My phone's here. It's not ringing.
Okay. Well, from now on, you will be first to be invited. Because here, I gotta be honest with you. When I'm with Cord, we're usually drinking, so I don't remember most of this.
I guess this is more about Cord than it does about us.
Well, no, all of us. But Cord does a lot of impressions, but you actually do a Cord impression. Do you?
Oh,
is it true?
No, Cord is like the master of impressions. I would force him to do the impressions.
Okay, yeah, he does.
I would get us in trouble. Like anytime he would do Christopher Walken, I would be like losing it in scenes. So
he's awesome.
I'm a Cord instigator. So it's probably not good to have us in the same place at the same time.
Okay.
I'm just a massive fan of his. So I get it. I get why you love him. I get why he's family. He's the best.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're just turning us on, Kevin McHale is here, and we're about to talk about his soon-to-be stage presence.
Oh, no.
In the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, one of my favorite shows of all time. You seem nervous. What's wrong with that?
It's a live show. I'm not like you. You're all used to a live show. You do this every day. You're veterans. You know, the live show, I do a podcast for that very reason. We can edit it.
Yeah.
We have our amazing producer, Sam, who's here now. She can cut around and make us sound like we can form complete sentences.
Yeah, it's good to live in a life where they can fix all your problems in post, right?
Yes, that's right. Okay, if you come from TV, it's like you can mess up as many times as you want.
And I'm sure you never did, so you're good.
No, never.
But wait, I'm going to get back to the podcast because you're very interesting. You were talking about how you just wrapped up talking about season 4, and now you're going to start talking about season 5. Of course, season 5 is the season where Corey Monteith passed away, and so I can't imagine what it was like then and how you've all been processing it together because you guys are all still pretty close,
right?
Up to current day times. I mean, where are you with that, and how are you going to approach this on your podcast? You know,
it's we are definitely learning as we go. I do have to say, and I'm not just saying it because I'm here, the iHeart team, around us has been very, very supportive this entire time in terms of do whatever you want, make this show look however you want it to look. And so I think approaching these episodes coming up, we're being very considerate of that, considerate of our feelings. We don't know how we're going to feel going into it, but we do know that there's no pressure to make it seem a certain way, if that makes sense. And
no, I got it.
I mean, the good news is that through, tragedy and grief and all that, we have a really big family. And Cord, you've talked to a lot of us. We're all very close, all very protective of each other. And so that is helpful when you go through, hard times like that. And so I think going through the next stages of the show, we're just constantly checking in with each other, especially me and Jenna being like, does it feel okay if we approach it this way? Does it feel okay if we approach it that way? Like, what do we want this to look like? And that's very nice.
I wonder how many shows are as close as you guys are all these years later. Like, a lot of shows say, oh, yeah, we hang out, we whatever. But you guys really seem like you still have this special bond. Like, you all grew up in the world together,
Yeah, I don't know if it's normal. I just know it's normal for us. And even people who were only on the show for a brief period of time, we see them, and it feels like we're family. I don't know what it is. I think when you've created something that had no business working like it did, and something that touched so many lives, I think that bonds everybody. And unfortunately, through hard times, there's a little trauma bonding as well. But it is, again, it is really nice to have sort of a deep bench when it comes to that support.
Well, Gandhi, Danielle, when this show's done, you will never hear from me again.
That's right.
I believe you.
But you don't Cord will probably...
Cord's going to take over.
You've got this hard on for Cord. I didn't mean it that way, but hey, Gandhi.
Yeah, sure. Who doesn't? Have you seen that face?
I know.
That's a
yes,
beautiful
Gandhi,
man.
what's up?
Okay, so you guys are about to talk about Corey Monteith in the new season. And numerous people have passed away from that cast. Do you guys feel that there is a curse? Do you just feel like this is coincidental?
No, we make jokes about a curse, which makes a lot of people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The amount of times we've said some things that everyone gets really quiet. We're like, no, you understand. If we don't laugh about this, we will all just be sad. Because it's insane. Mm-hmm. It is really crazy. I don't believe in curses. I am not superstitious. I don't know if any of us are. I think it, unfortunately, is just a lot of horrible coincidences and accidents. And it's a big cast of a lot of young people, and things happen. I think things happen on other shows as well, and you're working with crew members, and things happen to crew members. You're not necessarily hearing about that, but I just think, a lot of unfortunate, really horrible accidents do happen.
So you're not sprinkling holy water on yourself every day when you walk out of the house?
No, I do quite the opposite.
You drink with Cord.
Every time I get on a plane with my boyfriend, I'm like, you sure? I don't know.
Well, that sounds like a very healthy, fun relationship.
My guy.
And plus, and I was thinking that just the sheer numbers of the people in the cast. You look at the Kennedy family; they say they're cursed. Well, that was just 8,000 Kennedys.
Right.
I mean,
it doesn't serve anybody to, I think of it in that way. It's like if we were sitting here being doom and gloom about oh God, I can't go outside, I can't, then we would have no life. I think it's just a matter of circumstance, and unfortunately, it's a lot of those horrible things did really happen, and it's terrible for their families and for us as friends and coworkers. But no, we do not let that sort of dictate our lives or think there's some sort of curse whatsoever.
We're talking with Kevin McHale, of course, about to be starring in the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee at John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in D.C. One of my favorite stage shows of all time.
Did you see the original?
Yeah, we all
absolutely.
did.
With Jesse Tyler Ferguson.
So good.
Yes.
You've actually been working with Jesse Tyler Ferguson on this, have you not?
I've spoken to him a little bit about it. I
thought he was showing up every day for rehearsal too.
He's too rich to be doing that. Modern Family is syndicated 1 billion times over. He can't stoop down to our level. He's been very helpful. I actually ran into him we were doing an event for the upcoming election right before I came to New York to start rehearsal. Mm-hmm. And he is just he's a bundle of joy. He's so nice and was just so excited. It's very scary to step into a show. All those people, I don't know if people know this, but the original cast basically created all of these characters themselves from improv. And so it wasn't like they all just got hired to do a part that was written for them. So we're stepping into the shoes of these characters that were created personally by the people who originated them.
No pressure.
That's heavy.
Wow.
No pressure. So I'm trying not to think about that. But luckily, seeing him early on in this process did sort of relieve that pressure for me, at least, because he said like they've all talked to the original cast and they're just so excited. And I can imagine from their perspective how exciting it probably is. Like something that they created is still living on, and so many people love the show and have done the show in high school or in college or have seen the original production in its many forms. And so I'm just very excited to get to play in that world a little bit.
How cool. Well, congratulations. Break all of your legs.
Thank you very much.
So when Kevin McHale was back in the day doing an incredible job with the character Artie Abrams on Glee, we had the entire Glee cast in our theater downtown in our Tribeca studios, and we set it up like a classroom.
That was so much fun.
With all the school desks and the big chalkboard. Well, for some reason, after we did that chalkboard disappeared. You stole our chalkboard.
Absolutely.
I want that back.
Wow.
Absolutely.
How did you get that out of there?
I have no idea, but it was in my garage for the past 15 years.
Why? Why would you take a chalkboard?
Well, Jenna and I have been co-parenting it because the chalk illustrations were mostly myself and Jenna. And so we're like, well, that's beautiful. And someone clearly spent a lot of time and talent on that, so we need it. But we did. iHeart actually, in a full circle moment, iHeart helped us use it, part of our annual like Snicksmas thing we do in honor of Naya Rivera, to donate it and raise money for the charity she supports in LA.
Okay.
So
that's how you get away with
help
it.
us get rid of it as well.
But when you first got it, did you steal it or did you ask for it?
It doesn't matter. You know?
That's my answer.
All I know is it was in my garage. I don't know how it got there.
Well, the good news, it's one less thing we had to move uptown when we came uptown.
Well,
So
I could not get. Jenna and I'm like, do you want it now? Or like, why do we still have this thing?
15 years?
And it was huge.
Yeah.
It was gigantic.
I don't know how you hide a chalkboard.
No, it was like in my garage underneath all this stuff, and somehow it still remained intact. I was happy to give it away.
And I'll tell you something else about Kevin McHale, and this is a mind-blowing moment. He and I are both from McKinney, Texas.
Yeah, how we made it out?
I don't know. We made it out. It must be in the water. I don't know. We did.
Wait, are you the only two famous people from McKinney, Texas?
I don't know.
Well, I'm a radio guy. I'm not famous. Kevin McHale is famous.
Please, you're a national icon.
The icon's usually dead. Anyway, we made it out, though. A kid growing up in Texas. How long did you live in Texas when you were...
Until I was 15 or 16. I grew up in Plano-ish area. Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's so cool. Yeah. There you go.
That's great.
Look at that. A lot of my family is still there.
Yeah, well, they don't have
them
cars
out,
or
too.
electricity.
No.
We got to get them out of there.
They're horse and buggy.
So, Kevin, when does 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee kick off? When is it officially going?
October 11th is our first show. Opening night, technically, is October 13th, and then we just have a week of shows until the 20th. So
congratulations.
If you're in New York, if you're in
cool.
D.C. or nearby, come see us at the Kennedy Center. It's such a talented group of people. I'm going to have to figure out how to be a professional actor and how to not laugh while I'm on stage the entire time, because like Beanie Feldstein and Taran Killam are just the funniest human beings I've ever witnessed. And
I bet you're gonna kill it. You're gonna own it.
It's a great time. I've been having the most fun in rehearsal, so I hope people just come and laugh and sing and cry, and it's a merry 90 minutes.
It's an amazing script. It's an amazing show.
It really is.
Everyone, hop on Amtrak and head on down to D.C. for the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. And here on the iHeart Podcast Network, and that's what you really missed, the Glee Recap Podcast. I just got how you got the title.
Yeah, there you know what? You got there eventually.
It's the beginning of every Glee, and here's
that's
what you
right. Missed. Wow, you really are a fan.
Thank you, Kevin. I'm sorry I'm not there to spank your little booty. You're being very bad. He walked in, even before the interview started. He was bitching and moaning about how we have Cord Overstreet and Darren all the time on the show.
Oh, we didn't even get to Darren. Okay.
Anyway, if you're a big fan, I know you are. The Glee Recap Podcast. It's called, and that's what you really missed. On iHeart or wherever you get your podcast, and make sure you listen in with Kevin McHale and Jenna. It's great, and it's great having you here. Congratulations
Thank you so much.
on everything.
I mean it. Thank you very much for having me. It's always great to be here.
All right. Okay. Next time you come on, you have to have a new list of things to bitch and moan about.
Oh, don't worry.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.